In this video, we will discuss how the immune response are triggered whenever there is a harmful stimuli are been recognized by the immune system of the host. Or in other terms, we will discuss the inflammatory response to harmful stimuli. So whenever there is a harmful stimuli, it will leads to release of these DAMs and PAMs, that is damage associated molecular patterns or pathogen associated molecular patterns. Along with this, there is also a release of inflammatory cytokines such as TNF alpha, IL beta, IL-1 beta, interleukin 6, interleukin 8, and all this will lead to this activated macrophages to come at the site of harmful stimuli, and this activated macrophages at the along with this damaged endothelial cells will recruit neutrophils at the site of neutrophils and monocytes at the site of this harmful stimuli response, and this is the first line of defense, or we can say the innate immune response of the immune system. At the same time, it will also start preparing for the adaptive immune response, which is more specific towards this harmful stimuli. And for this, the mature dendritic cells along with this macrophages has the ability to transfer the antigen specific informations to the T cells, and these T cells will get the antigen specific information to the T cells, and these T cells will then convert it into this activated T cells that will cause T cells mediated cytotoxicity. At the same time, these lymphocytes, or the that is B cells and the T cells, differentiate themselves towards this antigen specific response, which is known as antigens dependent cytotoxicity, cytotoxicity. So these are also caused because of the differentiation of the lymphocytes based on this antigen specific information. And this is the first line of defense, that is phagocytosis or netosis, that is arises when the macrophages and damaged endothelial cells recruit the neutrophils and the monocytes. And at the same time, what will happens is that this inflammatory cytokines will cause the release of this acute phase proteins, and these acute phase proteins are the marker for the inflammations in the host. And even though there is a small inflammation response, these acute phase proteins are released, so they are very sensitive. That's why these acute phase proteins are being used as a marker whether the inflammation is there within the patients or not. And along with this, what will happens is that this inflammatory cytokines, that is interleukin 1 beta, interleukin 6, interleukin 8, will cause the further lymphocyte activations that will lead to these B cells activations that cause this plasma cells and the T cells for which that I have just told, and which will cause these plasma cells will cause antigen dependent cytotoxicity response. At the same time, this is antigen dependent cytotoxicity cell cytotoxicity response. At the same time, antibody dependent response also, that is complement activations against the harmful stimuli or the antigens that are recognized from the harmful stimuli. And and when it comes to these T cells, the T cells will get activated into this and then cause this T cells mediated cytotoxicity. And at the same time, the secondary lymphatic tissues will generate more B cells and T cells, so that the ADCC and T cell mediated cytotoxicity will continue to occur unless this DAMs and PAMs which are released by the harmful stimuli are starting to goes down. So this is how the inflammatory response might occur against the harmful stimuli. And for example, this part is that is phagocytosis and netosis are part of the innate immune response, and the ADCC complement activation T cell mediated cytotoxicity are the part of adaptive immune response that are specific towards the antigens that are received from the DAMs and PAMs. If you need to understand more about this inflammatory response to harmful stimuli in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. That's all for this video. Thank you for your time.